Hey, well, welcome to the Dream Labs, Dr. Contrast Live. I hope everybody's doing well. I just thought I'd take a moment here and kind of introduce a little bit of a shift today, and interesting little program. You notice the title was E-Motorcycle Logo Studies, and the reason I'm going to switch gears and kind of spend a little bit of time doing some very rough concept ideation studies for this client is that I got a call late yesterday afternoon from an individual who was interested in putting together a bike platform that's electronic in a sense, electrified, and he needs a logo. So I thought that'd be kind of a fun little program to kind of work with. So I said, sure, we'll give it some thought here. And what I'm going to spend some time today just going through some very quick loose pencil sketches on looking at ideations of how to put together this program together. And I think, or else to get some momentum behind it. I think one of the things that's going to be very interesting to deal with, I think, is the fact that you've got a lot of complex pieces and parts. For example, you've got the front strut, you've got the fuel tank assembly, engine underneath that, or else the battery pack or whatever they're going to utilize, and the seating system. And I think the more bare bones and the more simplistic, the better off. And of course, they get the electrified symbol. See what happens with it. So it could be initial related, it could be E-type, it could be a lot of different areas here of investigation. So I thought I'd just kind of open up with some very quick little simple sketches here throughout the course of this presentation and see where it takes us, and get them to the client. And maybe we'll build on a second feature for this one. I don't know if it'll be a one-time only, or it might be a 1 or 2 sessions, but we'll start today with this. I just thought it's just very simplified here. Let's kind of start off with a very easy approach to it. Now it's just coming back in with a very simple, let's go this route here, more the typeface program here. Let's get this all set up. We're going to come through that with a nice little variation on theme here. Let's break this in. So the upper portion of that could kind of be part of the process here. Let's kind of break this through. Very literal here. And then just stop it there, and we'll have to stop it right about just above that line right there. So we've got a little bit of a breathing room here. We'll kind of take this tone in here. So that'll be part of the process. That's it there. If we have a little real estate behind that, maybe a couple little of these to kind of go with it here. And then come out of it with just something underneath there. So let's see what that does. This might be one color or another here. It could be a dark black or a dark blue. So in that spectrum, we'll come back in and really hit this guy with a nice heavy this indicator here. And come out of that with a nice little footprint on it. Motor sport or motor current, what else it might be. That's some little thumbnail study there to get that started. But before I'm out of here, I'm going to get this too. We've got a little bit of action on this guy. Let's see if we can get this thing. We need a little bit of color added. We'll have that handy. Some of that into it as well. So if we go back to this again, maybe it's just a simple matter of getting this disc to be much more simplified. Maybe it's coming out of it. And this gets a little bit of color here. Bring that into play. Bring that into play. It's kind of abbreviated here. Again, the same kind of, a little bit of breather here, kind of break that up just a bit. Graphics on the end of that guy. Just variations on theme here. Just looking at some possibilities of what we might be looking at here as far as this concept is concerned. Let's go back here and open this guy up just a bit more. Maybe maybe it becomes more of the wheel system. Front wheel. Put that disc assembly in place here. And back in with a nice little spoke pattern of some sort. A little bit of drop shadow on this game. With the wheel graphic in place. Then we come out of that with this. Graphics in between there. So just some variations. Hey, how you doing there, Chip? How's it going there, Chief? Got a little bit of Opal influence. I'm just trying to play around with, not play around, I hate that term, but just explore some of the possibilities here of getting something electrified. Something very simple with maybe the initial of the E. Hey, Demetrius, this is Motorcycle Company. Do they have an existing logo? Or this is a whole new look, Demetrius. It's just starting from scratch. So I'm just exploring some things that their comment was made yesterday, for example, that we don't have a logo. It's electrified. We could look at the initial E. We could look at all kinds of variations on theme. So I'm just going to walk down the line here with some of these things and see what we might come up with there. So let's go back in here. And these are just really loose sketches to get it all started here. So what if we did this? And again, a little bit of tint here behind this thing. Very simple, just trying to take advantage of some of the real simple little forms here to get this kind of process to work here. As I go through this, gang, let me know what you might think works here. It just really help to get your input. These are just really loose little sketches. And just studying some variations here. Just interesting little concept sketches of how to play and work with these concepts, these forms that we're dealing with here. Let's try something else here. Let's try this. Just be really straightforward with it instead of being so linear. Let's do this. Again, a little bit of tone in this guy. I mean, I'm not sure if you want to go strictly initial, keep it as simple as refined as this, or not that they're refined sketches, but just basic ideas, putting together formats and the like. So maybe it's a case of getting something like this too. Well, it's a very interesting set of circumstances to work with here. I'm not sure if we're really kind of hitting any cylinders here yet, but we'll just keep at it here. With the ground shadow on this guy. So we'll just kind of look at these guys. There's a page study of them here. There's one. Just going to put those aside for a moment. We'll just keep moving here. Another variation, just taking the machine itself and just open that up a little bit. If we can kind of do this. A bit lighter here, just get rid of some of that portion here. See if that floats just a little bit. Let's get rid of that, guys. There's just a little bit of weight in this thing. The cord itself coming around on top of the form here. Give a little bit of grounding to it. Hit this form through it. Come right back in. Another little variation there, kind of some of the hydraulic look, kind of the plug-in pairs to it. I don't know, maybe. Let's keep going after this guy here. That's kind of interesting. A little bit of a variation on the actual wheel or diameter. Let's change the diameter size back there. That's just a little thumbnail study. What do you think so far, gang? Anything kind of hit you here at all? Chip or Demetrius? It's good to have you on board. Yeah, some Opel influence. Yeah, that first series, you were right, Chip. They have a little bit of that lightning streaker to it, but you know, that's part of the electrified look here. I don't know, but that was where we started here. But I thought we'd get back into more the cycle of the body form of the actual vehicle itself. There's some interesting things happening here, I think, with this guy. He's got to straighten this up just a bit. Some more into this thing. Now let's see what happens here. Let's go back in again and get another variation on this thing. Let's lift it up just a bit. Please feel free to jump in here, gang. Anything that kind of hits you a little bit or says, hey, you know, that's not, that's really not what you're after here. Let's go back in through this. Bring this up just a bit back here. That's a little bit more spooky like. And let's just get this guy to kind of add a little bit of color in this thing. Maybe this one too, just enough in there, and just a hand underneath it there. So I'm just trying to look along here to plug in the plug maybe with the racer. I like both. Racer catches my eye. That's good. The racer meaning this series here. Is that the ones you're referring to? Demetrius, this family of forms here, kind of more of a sporty look at it here. Yeah, I think if that's where you're headed, I think you might have a good choice here. What are you thinking? Yep, yeah, you got it. Okay, cool. Let's keep going here. Well, there's another family of forms here. What do you think, guys? So what you think of the chip? I'd go with the third from the top. That one right there? Is that the one you like, Chip? Is that it? Yeah, very good. Remember that Chip, that Chip's on noble influence. I'd go with the third from the top. Yeah, that's got a nice gesture to it, I think, Chip. It implies a bit of the bike, but it doesn't get too obtrusive in terms of where we're at with this thing. And it just kind of has a real. I think the big difficulty in doing any logo work, especially something as complicated as a motorcycle, to get it down to an essence. So we're looking at windscreen, body form, and then the overall character of the shape itself. Just interesting little form. That has a nice character to it, I think, Chip. Makes a lot of sense. So let me just go. Let's keep going here with some form studies here. There's plate number 2. Let's keep moving here. Let's see. Let's go back in here and keep after the same theme here. Another little variation here. Oh yeah, I like this one. Nice little constraint to limit oneself to come up with something. Oh, you like that one? That one just kind of come up to speed and everything you think, Chip, or what? Ah, cool. Interesting. So yeah, let's go back and look. Let's see if we can do a little variation on this theme here. So we're gonna kind of lift this thing up just a bit. Now, should a little stick here. And flowing nice. Yeah, I think that's kind of nice. You still refer to this one, right, Chip? I think. Is that right? There we go. Up very at the top one. Yeah, the top one. That's it. It's kind of interesting, Chip. Kind of very symbolic. Interesting thing there. Neat. Okay, let's go back here and look at another couple of variations here. Now it's more the body form. Now I think it's kind of working here. Let's kind of get this thing to come off the top of this thing just a bit more. We don't want to let that. Well, I don't think so. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Come along here. Another variation here, just a little bit of the top one, yeah, looking good, looking good. Okay. Well, I don't know, guys. Let me stop right there. What do you think? Any direction there you think I'm missing? I mean, I'm going to keep going here for a little bit, but just interesting to let you see. I mean, what do you think in terms of direction here? Are some things starting to work for us here? You seeing some progress, or am I getting too caught up with the actual electrified symbol itself? I started here with just some terminology here. Some interesting things might be happening with some of those forms. Not bad there if we kind of put up a variation on the theme. This was kind of a unique little approach. I mean, just trying to look at, give them enough variations. Well, I had a favorite. Now I don't know anymore. Well, I mean, I think the one you brought back was this one here. Is that correct? I think that has a really strong gesture. That one makes a lot of sense, and I think it's contemporary. It's simple. It implies where you are with the seating, the windscreen, and the actual form of it that is electrified. I think the real key is you're right, Chip, is to keep it nice and simple. And this last pass of sketches here for these guys, I think, yeah. The last pass of sketches had a lot more amplification in them, and I think that's in terms of amplification. I mean, you have the top one from the other page, top one from this one here, that one. Hit that guy, and even also this one. Is there another page as well? I mean, I'm trying to kind of factor in what you've got here. So this guy is your favorite, Chip? Is that correct? Sorry for the redundant question here. What do you think, you guys? Demetrius, you still with me? You have any favorites here? Let me kind of line these up a little bit here. I think you're getting closer. More of the cafe racer type, I think, is neat. The last one is also good. That one. You like that one too? That's interesting. The one with three stripes. Yeah, so it's this guy. So I'm going to put a note on that. The check mark here and the check mark there. Is that right, Chip and Demetrius? Cool. And then the other one you had picked that sideline too was that guy. So not bad. We're making some progress here. Let me go back and look at a couple other variations here. Let's see if we can get down to some really good simplification here. Let me put these aside. We'll come back to a review here. Here's a page 1, page 2, page 3. We'll keep them in order. Let me go back and look at the variations on theme here. Let's go back and try this. Get the wheelbase down, get the tire size correct. What if we come out of this thing with a real strong gesture? Get that rear center line, almost full body form here. Just kind of project that through. So move that center line is here. I'll take this in and develop some weight in this thing. Put a little bit of weight there. Come back in. Drop that back. Come back to center line. Strike this through. And did this. And at the same time, came back. Did this. And just enough indication of, again, that. 3 very simple forms here. No need to put the base on this guy. The tire weight. Of course, the finished product will have really good, kind of beefy tires to get that thing to kind of come across here to the signal. But what if we did this? There's another way to look at it too. Just kind of come off that shape with this nice little kind of a lightning form in it, guy. Just, you know, maybe it's, I don't know. Let's try it again here. That center line. Try that. Now maybe it's this. And again, come back with that same kind of bolt theme here. Ground it, ground it. And we don't need this. That's kind of an interruption here. Maybe we just add a little bit more body form under this thing. Maybe this has to go a little steeper here. I don't know. What do you think, gang? Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I think it's got a little bit more of a character to it. It's not as cliche. What's that? Let's do this again. It's a little thumbnail sketch here. Let's get a basic gesture down. Make it even quicker. That's kind of fun. What do you think, guys? Interesting little series of sketches here, huh? I mean, just trying to get some character to it, just moving the proportion around. So sensitive. I mean, that's the thing that's amazing about getting the graphics and some of the line weights and the proportion that we're dealing with here. Just keep going with this thing. So we can't get it to go a little sheer. Oh, do you like the organic look or not, Chip? And just the rounder form as opposed to the real. So, I got it. Wait a minute. Just give me a little bit of feedback on that. What do you think, guys? Should it be more of the sheer lightning bolt or the actual softer one you're looking at here and this almost organic look to it? Okay, so what if we did this? No, it looks a little bit forced, doesn't it? I think, yeah, are you going to stay with the blue look or incorporate other colors? Yeah, we're going to add type to the company. I'm just trying to look for a theme now, Demetrius. I'll definitely start adding some theme to this thing and some lighting and the like. I like the lightning bolt look. Oh, okay. I'm not sure which I prefer, honestly. Yeah, it's interesting how both can come very clear in terms of putting together a format here. Let's try another variation here. Same basic thought, just kind of simplifying some things a little bit here. So just again, just variations and looking at how in the yeah, I think it might be interesting to add some color to this thing as we go here, Demetrius. I'm not quite sure how they're going to feed that, but we'll see what happens here as we go through the lineup here. There's the third form. I'm going to come back and review these guys in a moment here. Geez, we've already cranked out, what, 4 pages? Amazing. Wow. Now let's see, let's just finish one more page here. Let's just go through some themes and take a look at them and take some yays and nays from you guys and see what you think here. So let's go back into this. So that's what we did there. Get this as a reference here. What that last theme was here. Okay, that guy. Center line is, you get that kind of plugged in. Fill in place. Go through this thing here. And let's see what happens here. We get this really bold kind of a look at it here. Trying to figure out which variation of thing we want to look at here. So we've already gotten, let's do this. Out of the way here. Thin that up a bit here. Yeah, it's got some interesting character to it. I don't know. Let's see what we've got here. I don't know. There's another variation on theme here. Yeah, that could be that's kind of a nice. I agree, Chip. It's got a different freshness to it. I mean, let's see what happens here. We kind of just maybe the variation on theme here is. Oh, now that's. I think you hit something here, Chip. What do you think, guys? Yep, you're on. Yeah, that I think is a lot. I mean, where you started. I mean, isn't it funny how you just kind of go through these transitions where, let's try the initial thing. Yeah, it's also kind of forcing it. It's a pretty typical. But this, all of a sudden, Chip, I think you're right, and Demetrius, all of a sudden things start to shift. You get more. This is a good point of reference here to kind of stop and look at the progress made here, if any. It really points out because I try to overstate. Yeah, you get some clean stuff in there, but there are things that complicate life. Is it really a motorcycle? Does it have a vehicle approach to it? Not really. Then page 2 started to kind of take on a different personality. We got more of the race, it's kind of some format work. Again, notice almost in every case, we began to hit really in all 12 cylinders, in essence, was getting down to ultra simplicity, simple line weights, simple volumes, simple use of weight or shape or color, and letting it go from there. Very interesting set of circumstances to deal with. So then we went from that page to, I think, this page, which is a winner. Then we moved to this page, which is kind of a different approach. And all of a sudden started to look a little bit more unique in terms of looking at form. Again, still not quite really simplified yet, but I think it has some character to it. And let me make sure I get these guys in the right sequence. It was one. Then I think this was the second page. We'll go back and review in a moment. Page 2, page 3, page 4. And now this one, I think really starting to look at, let's try one more thing here. Then we'll kind of wrap it up. Just see what happens here. This is just variation on things. Just getting some really loose. Today's day, really, what I stressed in the beginning of the stream too, was this is not a day for finalization. Just looking for a theme. Being very lucid, very full range. Is it type? Is it form? Is it cycle? Is it simplified? Is it more complicated? You have to add more to it. I think these are the things I'm looking to work with when the client sees these sketches. Oh yeah, this so to combine these pieces and still keep it really very simple. So let's go this way. Let's try one more time here. Let's put that range back here. Get those center lines in place. That gives me kind of a guidepost. Just to get where those centers are, run that through. Now, same thing. It's going to time this so that that line comes right back into that center with just variation of the theme right here. Bring this down. A little heavier here. Thick and thin. A little more of a radius in this guy. Now let's do this. Now let's do this. And we'll add this. Let's do this. A little more realistic, but not realistic, but I mean more graphic in terms of engine bay or battery bay. A little more weight back here, just to kind of counterbalance it just a bit here. All right, let's see what that does. And we'll call that a day, gang. Well, there you go. There's a family of forms here. I think it's starting to really look at some interesting things here wrapped around the engine. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was trying around the, I don't know if it's this approach or the, I kind of think the simplicity of that would work either way. Just kind of break that down a little bit, and maybe it's a little sheerer in here, a little bit crisper. But I think there's just something about this gesture here, these three gestures, that I think have some real potential. I mean, it doesn't look typical. It doesn't look like it's a foregone conclusion. There are some interesting things happening with those family of sketches. I'm not denying that. I think there's some things happening in the earlier phases. For example, I still think this family had some interesting things going for it. That guy was an interesting, just a simple, almost, look at that. It's almost the same gesture again, but just kind of modifying the form itself. The second one, which one? This guy? Looks like something wrapped around the, oh yeah, this guy right here, the second one we did, that one right wrapped around the engine. Yeah, I think there might be something interesting about that. It might be more of this. I still think, maybe I'm just too much of a purist here, but I think from the electrification side of life, I'm just kind of guessing the client will look more for this kind of a crisp look, almost like a bolt type, as opposed to a very fluid looking, almost like a swoosh of some sort, like a Nike program. But either way, there's some character there I think is interesting, and I think we really kind of pulled some out of the plan. This has some interesting gestures. I don't care for that. That's almost really too forced. But something in this line here, maybe we simplify the rear end of this thing and come back and just take another look at this thing and maybe shift the whole proportion instead of having that type of an axis, just kind of rotate it a little bit to see what happens with it. But overall, guys, what do you think? Some progress made here? I'll just kind of lay these out as much as we get as many as we can on the screen so you can see them here. I don't know if we'll get them all in, but I don't think we will. So there's the last two plates we did. There's a set of air plates here, and then another plate is here. So we cranked out 5 pages worth of sketches here today, and I think overall, what do you think, Chip? Let me ask you a favor. I'm going to start from 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Let me ask you a favor as we go through these guys. Let's kind of review here real quickly. Is there anything on this page that kind of hits any cylinders? Even if it's a typo, I'm anticipating the possibility of coming back. Well, we want the letter form in there too. So maybe I haven't gone far enough with this one, but is there anything that you kind of think we could build on? I'm not sure there is. I'm just asking the question. If it's thumbs down, no problem, man. The first one, this guy right here. That's it. That's it. So the first one. Yeah, okay. Let me put a check mark on that one. What do you think, Chip? Right, most one down on the page. This guy right here. That one? This one. Yep. Okay, so let me check mark that guy. That's got some possibility. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is really helpful, guys. So, page 2. Anything here that hit you? We already mentioned this one, I think. That's still a favorite? Hopefully. How about you, Chip? Anything else? Still the favorite. Okay, let's check that guy. Nothing here? All right, let's move along here. Very good. If that guy, I'll just check mark that beauty. Now on to page 3. Let's kind of move along here, guys. Page 3. Anything? I think you mentioned this guy, Chip and Demetrius. That was a favorite right there, you think? That guy still? Still the one. How about you, Demetrius? In the same camp? Question for both of you guys while you're at this one right here. If we took this whole gesture, kind of shifted it uphill a little bit and got a little bit more romantic and maybe lifted off the ground plane and kind of modified the seat, still valid, do you think? And I like the gesture. That's kind of a different approach too. It's kind of neat. That makes sense, guys? To take that whole gesture, just kind of shift it about maybe 15 degrees. The pencil one, yeah. Oh, you like this one too, Demetrius? So let me mark that guy. Yep, so I'll check mark that guy as possible, and that was a okay. Now let's move on to the next one here. What about this page, guys? I still think there's something about this approach right here. Maybe this is too heavy, but there's something simplifying. Maybe that, again, this gesture shifting a little bit might be the right way to go. What do you think, guys? That a potential contender, you think? Yeah, I think that does too, Chip. I think there's something in that. Maybe it has to be, I don't know about how you feel, but I think we took that whole gesture, it's almost maybe 15 degrees, and just rotated it just a little bit. Not as much as this, just kind of, and then modified that seat design. I got maybe that gets a little thicker back. I'll move into that once we get these sketches sent out to the client here to get some feedback. Then last but not least, I don't know about you guys, but I think all three of these guys have contenders. I don't know about you, but I just think these have got real contenders. Anybody? First and second. So you've got that one, Demetrius, and that one, Demetrius, and then all three. This one, I think, has some, I mean, I'd like to go back to this guy and get a little crisper with it and give that same engine modulation that we had here in the louvers. I think that, I tell you what, guys, I can't thank you enough for hanging on here and going through the review with me. This has really been helpful. Really appreciate the input. You guys have really been helpful as far as putting together a format and putting some themes down. Always good to have another set of eyeballs. In this case, both of you guys really have been terrific to stay with me all afternoon here. So thanks so much for your time. And let me wrap it up here by saying the following. This might be the first blush at it. I don't know if I'm going to get back into it on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. We might get some feedback from the client, and if we do, I'll kind of go into a phase 2 and bring up the speed. If not, I'm going to change gears maybe on Tuesday. I'll probably take some time to get some feedback. I'm going to call this phase 1, then we'll go back into e-motorcycle logo concepts phase 2, and bring these back out and review them and go back and refine the sketches that we get back, or the feedback from the client. All that to say, guys, if you have any comments or questions for me that I can help you with, drop me a note at my email address at jim@drcontrast.com. Always love to hear from you. And again, so appreciate you taking the time to go through this thing with me. This is not an easy task. Logo stuff is very sensitive. And I just started freewheeling from the very beginning to kind of put some themes together. And you were all very helpful to kind of narrow things down here. And we'll see what the client says. So I think you've got some winners, and that's terrific. And last but not least, please visit my website at jim@drcontrast.com. You'll see some neat things happening there. If you know of anybody who wants some drawing information on how to improve on their sketch rendering skills, there's a great 9-lesson plan there to work with. Feel free to look that up and pass the word along. I appreciate it. And last but not least, guys, I always close with this because I think it's the most important part of the whole day. Never forget to remember to dare to be great, because you are. Thanks very much, gang. Have a great day. We'll see you, and have a terrific weekend. And we'll see you hopefully this coming Tuesday. All the best. Thanks again. Bye-bye.